Grace, and right now I'm going to be talking about books that have crazy plot twists. Yeah, a lot of books have a lot of plot twists, but sometimes you're just like, saw that coming from a mile away. And then there's those books that have those plot twists where you never saw it coming. It just blindsided you and you're just thinking about it 5 days after you read it. And so these are the books that impacted me in such a way. That being said, I will say that there's been times where I've watched someone's video and they hold up a book and they're talking about the book and they're like, this book had a crazy plot twist. And you know, when I read that book, I wasn't as surprised because I knew that there was a plot twist in it. So if you don't like to be spoiled with anticipation in any way, I'd just say don't watch this video. But if you don't really care, if you're just like, if you just know that a book has a plot twist, you don't know what the plot twist is, then you don't care, just keep watching. But these are the books that blindsided me and I was like, what the heck? So the first book that I'm going to talk about that has a great plot twist is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. This whole book for me is kind of like just one big plot twist. And this follows this guy, he's a journalist, and his career has kind of been tarnished due to this scandal. And one day this girl winds up missing, and she's the daughter of a very famous film director, a horror film director. And she winds up missing, and then she's found dead, and it is crazy. It's just like, it just is so nutso, and there's just amazing characters, and it's just a good time. It is a great book that I kind of hated the ending, but I loved it in a way because of just, I don't know, it's very hard for me to explain, but it's a great book with great plot twists. The next book that was, again, just like a whole plot twist in itself, and that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I still don't even know how to describe this book. Like, I tried to tell people when my mom or my best friend, like I tried to explain this entire book to my best friend once, and it just sounded like mumbo jumbo. And I remember ending this book and just thinking, what the heck is my life? Like, how do I live now? It's so, the ending was so kind of obvious, but not. It's hard to explain. Like, I describe this book as a dream. Like, I can't explain this book, I can't describe it. It just read like a dream for me. It was plot twisty and short, and it was beautiful and odd and scary. It was great. The next book with a great plot twist was Nocti by Courtney Cole. I read this around this time last year, and so this follows a girl and her twin brother, and they have just recently lost their mom, so they're dealing with that, along with the main character. Her name is Kala, her brother's name is Finn. Finn has schizophrenia and I believe bipolar personality disorder, so she's also trying to, you know, help him cope and always be his rock. And that's all I'm gonna say because this book is crazy. Like, the beginning, I was just like, what the freaking heck? It was so instant, like insta love. Stuff didn't make sense and I was just like, what the heck? But then the end happened and everything made sense and I was just like, what the heck is life now? It was crazy. And I just remember ending this book and being like, wow, I didn't know anything. It was just crazy. I still haven't read the sequel, really wanted to. I own it, probably should. These are great books to read during October because they live in a funeral home, so that's creepy as hell. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it 3 stars. Next book that has a big plot twist is Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, and this follows a girl who is allergic to everything, and she, you know, has been very much isolated through her life, but she's pretty content because she's never known anything more than her life of just being at home. And you know, her father and her brother died really young, so she doesn't really remember them. But you know, she's only been in her, I don't know how long it's been, like 13 years or something, she's just been in her house. And she only really has contact with her mom and her caregiver. And she's, again, never wanted anything more in life because she's never known anything more until a guy moves into the neighborhood. He's the neighbor, and you know, she begins to question life and she begins to want more in life, and that's all I'm gonna say. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 3 stars, and I did like the plot twist, but I didn't love it. I had, you know, quite a few problems with it, but the reason why I did like it is because it was so shocking and never once did it cross my mind that that was what was happening. So I really enjoyed it for its shock value. But, you know, I did have some problems with it, but when it happened, I was just like, what? And the way I can describe it is The plot twist was really convenient, but so harsh that it just didn't sit well with me. But it was still very much surprising, so I was like, what the heck? The next book with a great plot twist was Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone, and when I went into this book, I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, just because it's set in high school and it's a contemporary, so that's usually not the setting or the, you know, like genre that I gravitate towards. But I ended up loving this book. It follows this girl who suffers from OCD, and she, you know, she's dealing with it in a healthy way. She's seeing someone and she's getting help, and she's doing really great with it. But she's, you know, she's on the swim team, and I think she's a senior in high school, and she is friends with these girls that aren't the nicest, and they kind of bring her down, and she doesn't feel herself with them. And one day she meets this group, and she's introduced to like this poetry club, and that really brings, you know, it helps her express herself in a way that she never could. And so that's all I'll say. It was so great friendships, crazy plot twist that I didn't expect coming, and it was just so beautiful, and I still remember it. There's a lot of quotable parts, and it was just such a good, uplifting book. It sheds a lot of light on like OCD. I've never read a book with a girl or anyone who suffers from it, so it was really interesting to see that side, and, you know, to get an understanding of something that I never really even think about. So great book, great plot twist. The next book with a great plot twist was Belle Sharp by Meg Waltzer, and I actually got to interview Meg Waltzer for the Penguin Teen panel tour that she was on with Jandy Nelson and Ali Condi, and so interviewing her was such a cool experience. This book is greatly inspired by Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar, and I didn't know anything about The Bell Jar. I still haven't read it, probably should. So going into this, I didn't, you know, have a lot of expectations, and I didn't know what it was about. And I also, you know, I went to Goodreads and I looked up the reviews, and it doesn't have that great of reviews. So I was just like, this is gonna be an okay book, whatever. But I read it, and I just came out of it loving it, and I love when I don't expect to love a book and then I end up really, really loving it. So this follows a girl, and she has recently lost her boyfriend, so she's trying to cope with that, and so her parents send her to this school for highly intelligent but troubled teens, and there she's sent to like this English class, and the class gets to write in this journal, and you can write whatever you want, you just have to turn it in at the end of the year. So the class writes in the journal, but when they start to write in the journal, they're transported to this world called the Bell Jar, where it's like this ideal world where everything is perfect, but is it? Is it? And it was just crazy. It's like, I didn't expect magical realism for it, so that just, you know, took me by surprise. I mean, that's not a spoiler, like, it's on the back, but it was just something that I didn't expect. There was a plot twist in this that I was just like blown away by, and I really, really love this book. I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The last book that I'm going to talk about that has a great plot twist, my camera's going to die, so I can't tell you a lot about it, but that is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein. This is a historical fiction novel set during World War II. I can't really say a lot, my camera was like beeping at me, but this was an incredible book, and the plot twists that this book had were just crazy and made you feel and crushed your heart but put it back together, and it was just amazing. And I recommend this book so much. You should read it right now. Just drop whatever you're doing, buy this, buy it on your Kindle, buy it on the computer, get it at Barnes & Noble or a bookstore, wherever you're at. Just get this book, read it, love it, hopefully you love it. Great plot twists. There's not just one. There's a lot. So yeah, I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. So these are all the books that I think have great plot twists. If you've read any of these and you think, or you agree with me or you don't agree with me, or you saw it coming from a mile away, let me know. And if you have any other books that you want to tell me that have great plot twists, tell me, and I will put it on my list of books to look into. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.